Good evening, my fellow exorcists, and welcome to the Lab of the Film Exorcist, and to what's looking like the worst year so far. And I think this will be my main quote of the year, so stay tuned. But it's not all bad. I mean, if you noticed, we have finally reached our first goal of 300 subscribers. So, we're moving up in the world after 7 or 8 years of videos, starting with a few random activity videos, 2 horror movie reviews, 2 anime, TV show reviews, and finally, we have added interviews and Star Wars book reviews. Looking back, we have really come a long way in so much time, and obviously, our team has gone through many changes, starting with Cameron, one of my favorite co-hosts, who sadly had to end his career as my partner years ago, like 3 to 4 years ago, and he will be missed on this channel, and a few other one-time partners, and now we've got Silva and Opals, my partners and friends, who I couldn't do this without. So thank you, and I hope this year, or next year, we can finally reach 500, and after, we can work towards 1,000, hopefully. So, let's make it happen, because we are all film exorcists, and we are strong together, and we will get through whatever the world can throw at us. So, tonight we will be taking a look at WandaVision Episode 3, Now in Color. Wanda's pregnancy causes her powers to misfire as she and Vision prepare for an accelerated delivery. So yeah, this is a pregnancy episode, similar to most shows out there, where it's either aliens or, well, actually, it's mostly aliens, or it's Cosmo in Fairly Odd Parents. Now, before we move on to my opinion, I'd like to just announce that this video is sponsored by Animal. So go buy yourself some amazing low-price anime merch, including cute figurines to brighten up your collection, and every time you use the code FILM, you'll get 5% off your purchases. So it's a win-win. Oh, and if you need a video editor, Silva just made a new Instagram for that. You can follow him at True Silva Creations on Instagram. Well, we've finally reached one of my favorite eras in movies and TV. The 70s. The decade that brought us Star Wars, Halloween, Mork and Mindy, The Muppets Show, Jaws, The Godfather Part 1 and 2, A Clockwork Orange, one of my favorite dark comedy movies, and Rocky, Alien, Grease, and many, many others that I can't say or this video will be way too long. So yeah, just from that list, you can probably tell how happy I was to see them make this episode, especially with how much they took from shows like The Brady Bunch and Mork and Mindy. Especially the Mork and Mindy episode, where Mork has a child. On top of that, with the last episode, we have finally come back to the world of Technicolor, which again is still pretty cool. We also learn in this episode that our favorite little witch is pregnant, and because of her powers, this is no ordinary pregnancy. I mean, from bringing mobiles to life, to causing the whole town to lose power, and to cause inside rain, this kinda tops the weird cartoon pregnancies for me, despite not seeing much of them, and it does give a hint of who might actually be the villain in this story, and who's truly controlling Westview, New Jersey. On top of this, we also have the cute little trope of hiding a pregnant woman's bump with any household item, so that either people don't notice, or the directors just don't want to write it into the script. So this is a very clever idea and a very clever use of outside production techniques. On top of that, this episode also begins to show us that Vision might be smarter than we thought in this universe, because this episode starts Vision's investigation into the made-up world after one of the characters gets booted off the show, while also one of his neighborly friends, Herb, one of my favorite characters in the series, cuts through the brick wall with a hedge trimmer. That's what it's called. And let me tell you, it's one of the funniest glitches in this season. Or series. I don't know if they're doing a second season. Oh, and the intro was pretty cute, especially with how much it took from the Brady Bunch and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I mean, look at those hexagons. I mean, it's very similar to the squares of the Brady Bunch, and the logo is very similar to one of Tyler Mary Moore. I mean, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Also, it seems that the doll that Vision is practicing on is a reference to Cindy Brady's doll. And they also reference Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with this episode's commercial about Hydra Soak, the soap that will brainwash you and soak your brain. Oh, and I hope you guys are ready to go back to Age of Ultron, because we get the chance to see how Wanda truly feels about what happened to her brother, especially when we didn't get to see much of it in the movie itself, because of the fast-paced action, and we didn't really get to discover much about Wanda in that movie, other than I believe she spoke about the bomb in that in that movie, but yeah, there wasn't really that much. Oh, and I just have to say, I love how they end this episode with Daydream Believer by the Monkees. One of my favorite bands out there, and I am still reeling from the sadness of Davy Jones dying. I forget what year, but I was a bit young when I heard about it. Now, I believe it is perfect, this song, especially for this series, because some people might say that most of the residents of Westview are just daydreamers walking around under Wanda's spell. Ooh. Unless it's also Agatha. I'm not spoiling anything, but yeah, it's probably Wanda doing most of this. Or is it? Wink, wink. So now, before I completely ruin the episode for you guys, I guess I should give my rating, which is a 9.7 out of 10. Because really, I don't think we need the Doctor at all in this episode. He just seemed more like a side character for bad jokes like that nurse thing with Geraldine. But really, he's just seemed more like a side character there to give exploration or exposition. That's the word I'm trying to think of. And that's it. So, while I enjoyed his jokes, I do think we would have had a better time if it was just the same story, minus the Doctor and his wife. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the little notification bell, and just keep doing what you're doing, because everyone who watches our reviews are a big part of the team, and you are helping us so much. So thank you, and have a great night, everybody.